we have covered in our last session? What is oops? Why oops? Why? Just because they don't have time, they have created this oops concept, or there is a reason for that. Why oops? Because in interviews, they will ask you why. For everything, there is a reason why. Why oops? With less efforts, we can achieve more. That's what oops concept is. Without object-oriented programming also, we can write code. But you have to write lots of code. With the object-oriented programming, with less efforts, we can achieve more. Understanding what I'm saying? That is the advantage. Probably in movies, probably in King movies, you can see if a person wanted to kill the other person, they will use small knives. They will throw like that. That will hurt the opposite person, and the person will be killed. Imagine that is like a procedural-oriented program. The improved version is gun. It's the same thing. What is the advantage of gun? Much effective. Now even that person is 500 meters away also, probably the gun may kill. Improved version, much faster. Exactly, we can write code using procedural-oriented programming or object-oriented programming. In procedural-oriented programming, if you write in 1 lakh lines, in object-oriented programming, you can write it in around 20,000 lines. Lines are less because it increases more reusability. See, instead of creating 10 functions, I can create one function and reuse it 10 times, right? Then the number of lines of code will be reduced. Exactly the same. If you use object-oriented programming, reusability increases. Automatically, code will be reduced. Not only reusability, but scalability also increases. Reusability can be done using classes. That means you create the class. You use it hundreds of times, thousands of times. Just to give you an example, now you might have applied Aadhaar card. While applying Aadhaar card, they will be filling all your details on the screen and they will submit. What internally actually happens, whenever you fill the details, they are creating a class and storing everything into that class and they are saving that class. That means if 1 crore users are 1 crore Aadhaar card holders are there, they will be creating one class only, but using it 1 crore times. Now India population is approximately 140 crores. Now out of 140 crores, imagine 120 crores has Aadhaar cards. For all the 120 crores, they will be getting one class. Use it 120 crore times. Reusability. Yes, sir. So object-oriented programming is became popular because of reusability. Otherwise, if there is no advantage of using object-oriented programming, people could have removed it by now. That means they don't use it. Understanding what I'm saying? And object-oriented programming not only reusable, scalable, but flexible also. That means if you change it in the class, it changes everywhere. Just to give you an example, country, your first name, last name will be there in Aadhaar card. Country name also will be there. Imagine country name is India. They have automatically given it. Now country name has changed from India to Bharat. How many places they have to change? One place. It reflects in all 140, 120 crore places. Flexibility. So reusability, scalability, flexibility. That's why people prefer to use object-oriented programming approach. Understanding what I'm saying? As I said, procedure-oriented programming is like cycle. How many cycles do you see on the road while coming? You see more cycles or more bikes? Why more bikes? Less efforts. Simple. Why object-oriented programming? With less efforts, you can achieve more. With less efforts, you can achieve more. Now, you wanted to go to your hometown. You can go by walk now. Why you purchase 500 rupees ticket or 1000 rupees ticket? You can go by walk now. Why don't you choose that? More efforts. It takes more efforts, more time. Using object-oriented programming, less efforts, less time. Understanding what I'm saying? See, imagine a person who doesn't know cycle. His life will be very difficult. Why? Transportation issues. Even though he learned cycle, he won't use that. He use motorcycle normally. See, while we are kids, we have learned cycle. But are we using cycle or motorcycle? Motorcycle. Exactly the same. Everyone learns procedure-oriented programming first. Later they learn object-oriented programming because people use object-oriented programming. That is less efforts. Understanding what I'm saying? And this object-oriented programming has multiple concepts. What are the common concepts between procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming? Variables, data types, control statements, loops, functions. These concepts are there in object-oriented programming also. Plus, it has few extra concepts. What are those extra concepts? Classes, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction, composition. Because of these extra concepts, object-oriented programming is more reusable, more scalable, more flexible. Because of these extra concepts. And out of these things, we have already worked on one concept. What is that? Classes. What is classes? How do we use it? Blueprint of object, yes, we can say. Now, it is like this, just to give you an example. You know, there is a company called Apple. Every year, they release how many phones? Millions of phones. But how many models they release? One or two they release. Why they spend 1 year time for that model? That is the blueprint. They are releasing the new model means first they create a blueprint. That blueprint they take lot of time. Once the blueprint is ready, they will create copies of it. If they say iPhone 14 Pro, to create iPhone 14 Pro, they took 1 year time for creating the blueprint. Once the blueprint is finalized, they will create copies of it. Even newspaper also the same thing. The full day means tomorrow morning they have to deliver the paper. This full day they will be working on tomorrow's paper. Wherever the articles are coming, news. See what they do. They'll be keep on collecting the news. Even if someone lost a pen, they don't put that. But if they lost the pen and they give a police complaint, and they may put it into newspaper. To raise a police complaint. Okay, they have raised the police complaint. They will be adding into the news article, right? But something much bigger news happened. Some bigger event happened, like murder or accident or something. They will remove these petty things and they will add. So from morning to evening, actually speaking, till the printing begins, they'll be keep on working. They are working to create the blueprint. Once the blueprint is freezed, they'll be passing it to the printing press. They'll be keep on creating copies. Understanding how many copies they create per day? Millions. How many blueprints? One. They'll be spending all the time to create one blueprint. Once the blueprint is ready, they will be creating copies of it. Actually speaking, this classes concept is inspired from printing press. These classes of procedure-oriented programming, object-oriented programming, evolved after computers. But computers are not there in 1920s, 30s. Yes or no? But still printing presses are there. Famous personalities like Mahatma Gandhi has his own newspaper called Swarajya. How do they create newspaper? Do they write it on the paper? No, they have printing presses. They'll create the blueprint and they'll create the copies of it. Technically, frankly speaking, this classes concept is inspired from printing presses. Create the blueprint and create the copies of it. The same terminology we are using here. Here also we create the class we call it as blueprint and create copies of it. Those copies are called objects. And here blueprint in point of view of classes, class blueprint is nothing but a container which can hold properties and methods. Which can hold properties and methods. What is sweet box? Hold sweets. That's it. Exactly. This classes is also a container. It's like a box. But what it can hold? Variables and functions. Variables in class is called properties. Functions in class is called methods. You are here at DRN. Imagine you are interning. If you go to temple, devotee. If you go to supermarket, customer. If you go to vacation, tourist. The same person, but different terminologies. Exactly. Variable is a variable only, but if you create the variable inside the class, we call it as property. If you create that function inside the class, we call it as method. How many properties we can create inside a class? N number. How many methods we can create? How many methods and properties we can create inside a class? N number. So class is nothing but a container which can hold properties and methods. N number of properties it can hold, N number of methods. And the usage of classes are very easy, or understanding the behavior of classes are very easy for you. Why? Because you have already worked on components. And components are actually improvised, inspired from classes. Most of the concepts of classes is carrying and using in components. We are creating the component, nothing but blueprint. We are creating properties and methods inside the component of, and you can create a number of copies. Same thing we can do it. And why it is called as object-oriented programming is we create classes and we create copies of it. Each copy is called object. That's why it is called as object-oriented programming. See, if I say tomato curry means what? What? Mix of tomatoes. Okay. For example, I have biryani. Inside that biryani also tomatoes are there. Can I say that is tomato biryani? No. Why? Here, chicken biryani means they are made with chicken. That means chicken ingredients are more. It's supposed to be, but of course commercially it's viable or not, that's a different thing. Tomato curry means it's made with tomatoes. Of course, in tomato curry, onions might have used, salt might have used, oil might have used, some other ingredients might have used, but major ingredient is tomato. Have you seen any tomato curry without tomato? No. If it is no tomato, we don't call it as a tomato curry. Exactly the same thing here. Object-oriented programming means what? We have programmed, we have done the programming using objects. What is object means? Copy of a class. Copy of a class. So if you have more objects in your coding, that is object-oriented coding or object-oriented programming. That's why it is called like that. Understanding what I'm saying? Object-oriented programming means you are creating classes, creating copy of those classes and using that. That is object-oriented programming. That's why it is called as object-oriented programming. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? Now we have already worked on class. How to create class? You have to create a JavaScript file and use the keyword class and the name of the class. What are the conditions for class names? Starts with capital, continuation with capital. So I'll say, for example, any name, for example, lion. Starts with the capital, continuation with capital. And inside that constructor will be there. Constructor is nothing but a starting function. Whenever you create a copy, this code will be executed. Whatever you write inside it will be executed. And inside this you can create function variables using this code. And you can create another properties or functions also. Once you create the class, what you do, you use the class here. Let A is equal to new. Now this is object-oriented programming because we are using objects. We are using objects. That's what is object-oriented programming. If you are not using objects, that is called as procedural-oriented programming. No objects are there in it. Understanding what I'm saying? Understood overall the classes concept. You create the class and create copies of it. The advantages of these classes are increases reusability. I create one class and reuse it hundreds of times, hundreds, lakhs, crores of times also I can. Pamphlets, pamphlets are a good example of object-oriented programming. They'll create a pamphlet, they'll create the blueprint, and they'll make 1,000 copies, 2,000 copies, and they'll keep on distributing. Good example of object-oriented programming. Or invitation card is a good example. For example, I'm giving an example. Okay, Rashmika Mandanna, she is a famous actress. Now imagine, I'm giving an example of her. She is decided to get married. Okay, now she has discussed with her parents, and it's like their love marriage, for example. Both sides parents are agreed, accepted, then decided the muhurtam, and everything is fine. They have approached a printing press, offset printers, and they have given the details that offset printer has created the blueprint, and they will show the blueprint. They will show the blueprint. This Rashmika Mandana is getting married to person ABC or something. Now imagine, I'm giving an example. That's their sudden decision, for example. Now imagine she has come to VR and to invite each and everyone. Giving an example. Okay. Now she has given invitation to each and everyone. Okay, we have seen, we said okay, we do. But Pranit is not happy. Here Rashmika, how come you married without my consent? Okay. he cleared it off. That copy he has given to Pranit, he cleared it off. Shravan also didn't like it, right? He put it on fire. And understanding what I'm saying? Ankit also didn't like it. He has done something to that part. Now, you are doing something to your copies. Will it reflect to blueprint? No. Whatever the changes you do to the copy will not affect to the blueprint. But in the blueprint, instead of AM, they have given PM. What happens? It reflects to all. That's the difference. Now we are creating a copy. We are creating a copy from the class. Whatever the changes you do to the copy will not affect to the blueprint. But whatever the changes you do to the blueprint will affect to all the copies. All the copies. That's the single main point you have to understand. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? How many copies we can create? Any number of copies we can create. Now tell me the difference between small train and big train. Small train and big train. Okay, as per Vinod, less number of people means small train, more number of people means big train. So have you ever seen Mumbai trains? Mumbai train. We can't even get the place to get into the train. Now that is small train or big train? We cannot judge. We cannot judge based on the number of people. We cannot judge based on number of people. When it comes to train, we judge it based on number of compartments. Judge it based on number of compartments. Now you are going on the car. On the left hand side, train is going on the track. The train, one compartment is engine. It has only two compartments. Only two. Those two compartments are full of people. So do you call it big train or small train? Big or small? With two compartments other than engine. It is small train only. So we don't say good train or bad train because of number of passengers. So according to his logic, morning train starts by 4 o'clock. Number of people are very less. That means that should be small train. Peak hours, number of people are more. That becomes big train. Will that be like that? So the size of the train is big or small based on number of compartments. If the train has only two compartments, small train. 100 compartments. Exactly the same thing. What is the difference between small software and big software? Small software means number of classes are less, number of instances are less. Instances copies of this class. Big software means number of classes are more, number of copies are. That's the difference. Both are object-oriented programming. Small software development procedure-oriented programming, big software development object-oriented programming. It will not be like that. Nowadays, people are using byte for 10 meter, 20 meter distance. These are exactly the same. So whether it is a small software or whether it is a big software, it's judged based on number of classes and number of instances you are using. Actually speaking, number of classes. Now imagine you have joined in a company. There are 2000 classes are there. Too big. 2000 classes are too big. Only 5 classes are there. Small. People will be, software will be judged like. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? Now let us check your submissions. I got 9 submissions. Harshini, are you there? Classes. But there are different mechanisms of that. In JavaScript, there is a concept called modules. Whenever we create a JavaScript file, yeah, I might have covered it. Whenever we create a JavaScript file, that is a module. Without module also can be used. Without module, different approach. With module, now the latest approach is module. We are working with modules approach. Now, actually speaking, technically speaking, whenever we create a JavaScript file in React environment, nothing but we are creating a module. Then all these previous days, we have converted the module to component. Now we are converting the module to classes. Again, if you go in detail, there are two types of modules: ES module, common JS module. The way we use ES module, right now we are working on ES module. There is one more type is there, a common JS module that we'll be discussing about later. We have a concept, we have a topic called Node.js. Once we enter into Node.js, then I'll be giving you a bit depth detailing what is modules, type of modules, how to use it, all this. need of first class she has created. See, here we have used this dot speed. Without using this dot speed also you can create a variable. But if we use this, that can be accessible anywhere within the class. Got a point? Now this is like a global variable. We can use it anywhere within the class. Any function we can use it. If you don't use this, we can use it only within that function. First details. It is then first kilometer 200 car. Bus goes 200 kilometers per hour. Not everyone reaches the destination. What is motorcycle headlight is 30. She has created classes and she is using it in app.js. The way we used the component and using it in app.js. We have to use new keyword to create a copy of the class. Overall good. The messages will be displayed in the console. Little corrections are there. Class name should need to be capital name. That's fine. But the copies, or we call it as objects, should be starting with small. RDA should be small. Now let us learn a few more concepts today. We have concepts like classes we have. Today we are going to work on inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction. These are the four concepts. Composition. These are the four concepts we are going to learn it. Out of these four concepts, we have already used encapsulation composition, but you don't know that. And we are going to learn inheritance and polymorphism. First of all, why object-oriented programming? To increase reusability, scalability, and flexibility. We use functions, reusability. Functions with parameters also more reusability. Object-oriented programming much more reusable. Object-oriented programming much more reusable. Now, if we use classes also, reusability will be there. But we have a concept called inheritance. What? Inheritance. Inheritance means it increases flexibility along with the reusability. Classes reusability, no doubt about it. Inheritance make it more reusable and flexible. like functions with parameters. The same function, if you use functions with parameters, more reusable and flexible. Same thing. What exactly inheritance? See, every concept in this object-oriented programming is inspired by seeing the real world. Inspired by seeing the real world. Classes concept is inspired from building this. Create the blueprint and create concept. And what about this inheritance? Okay, what is the inspiration behind this? Parent, child, father, child, or parent, child. See, we are using light, tube light, for example. Tube light is inspired from halogen bulb. Bulb is inspired from lantern. Lantern is inspired from used fire actually. Lantern is used fire. It is inspired from. It's inspired from sun. See, what is the purpose of lantern or halogen light or tube light? To get light. Why we use all these things in the night only, usually? Because sun is absent in the night. So if sun is giving light 24 hours to us, we need all these things. Not exactly. Whether you take any light, any kind of light, any technology, or it is inspired from sun. Sun can provide light around 10 to 12 hours per day. Remaining 10 to 12 hours is giving other part of the earth. Remaining, we cannot wait like that. That's why people has created these. Initially, they have used fire, then candles or diya lamp something. Then these halogen bulbs or fluorescent lamps, then LED, so many technologies. But the core is inspired from sun. In the same way, when it comes to classes, the core is inspired from printing press. What about inheritance? This inheritance concept is inspired from parent-child relationship. Inspired from parent-child relationship. What exactly is parent-child relationship? Just to give you an example, um, Akash Ambani. This guy is born rich or born poor? Born rich. Has he working like this, like us? Has he worked? Has he invested any money? How come he's become rich born? Because of his father. His father Mukesh Ambani is one of the richest in India. Imagine this Akash Ambani is recently married, probably 1, 2, 3 years back. Imagine they have a kid. Who are rich? Rich only. Now we are, if flight goes missing, there is a flight. Those are the days. But this guy can give a birthday gift, flight as a birthday gift. That means he can get it or he can give also. He is the damn rich because of inheritance, parent to child. Inheritance means parent to child. That is the concept. And inheritance concept in object-oriented programming is inspired from this. Parent to child. But there is a difference, in real world, parents to parents, that means father, mother, and child. Father, mother, and child. And this child inherits something from father and the mother. As per Indian tradition, the child inherits the surname from the father, as per Indian tradition. If the child is a girl child, after marriage, the surname may change. Understand? Inheritance. Now, Akash Ambani, in 2 years' time, in the next 2 years, Akash Ambani wife delivers a baby girl, for example. We don't know baby girl or baby boy. We don't know the gender. We don't know when the baby is going to born, but I can tell you their surname. A new baby born in the next 2 years, I don't know baby girl or baby boy, but I can tell you the baby's surname. Inheritance. Inheritance means parent to child. Again, two types of inheritances. God creates inheritance is one. Father, mother, and the child. This is called multiple inheritance. What? Multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means inheriting from more than one source. Father and the mother. Understanding if you have new baby born, at the time of delivery, grandmothers will be there from both the sides. Now they will start, okay, nose is like my daughter. No, nose is like my son. Eyes are like my daughter. Eyes are like my son. They will say that because inheritance from parent to child. Don't get offended, but they don't say eyes are like Madhuri Dixit. Aishwarya Rai, will they say like that? No. Understanding. So inheritance means parent to child. But this inheritance is multiple inheritance. More than one source. More than one source. There are certain attributes from father will be passed to child, from mother will be passed to child. Understanding? But when it comes to object-oriented programming inheritance concept, this doesn't support multi-inheritance. It supports single inheritance. That means only one parent, not multiple. That means what? If you have a class called cycle, for example, if you have a class called cycle, you can create a child class, motorcycle. This motorcycle has a parent called cycle. How many parents? Only one. Cannot have more than one parent in coding, particularly in JavaScript. Because it doesn't support multiple inheritance, it supports single inheritance. Single. What is the advantage of this inheritance? Whatever the properties and methods you created in the parent class will be passing to the child. That is the advantage of this inheritance. Now in cycle class, imagine you have created number of brakes, number of wheels, number of handles. Now when it comes to motorcycle, if the motorcycle is child of cycle, automatically those properties will come to child class. You don't need to create it. Automatically reusability. Understanding, just to give you an example, we have a famous actor called Mahesh Babu, for example. How come he is 6 feet tall? His father, Krishna, is 6 feet tall. How come he is fair in color? His mother and father. How come he is working in Telugu film industry? His father. How come he is superstar? Hard work, okay. The hard work in there is no doubt about it. But we have one more star is there, Mega Power Star. In the second movie, he becomes Mega Power Star. How? Inheritance, actually. Hard work is there, no doubt about it. If normal guy, he has to work at 20, 30, 40, 50 films to get that, whatever the star it is. Stardom. But this guy got it in second film because of inheritance. Inheritance means parent to child. Imagine, I am giving an example. Imagine your father earns 10 crore rupees. Do you feel happy or not? Why? If somewhere in the corner of the road they earn 10 crore rupees, that guy will be happy or you will be happy? That guy will be happy. His father earning means it's come to him. Your father is earning means it comes to you. For example, I am giving an example. You are asking your dad, I want a nice bike. It's just 2 lakhs rupees only. You are asking from so many days, but your father is saying no, no, no. But imagine your dad won the 10 crore rupees lottery. You will feel more happy. Now there is no point to say no to bike. You feel that yes, my bike is ready. You will feel happy naturally. Understanding what I am saying? See, inheritance means parent to child. Understanding what I am saying? Parent to child. But there is one more concept in there. Polymorphism. Inheritance means parent to child. Inheritance means parent to child, not reverse, not child to parent. Now, I am giving an example. Father is well settled, mother is also well settled. That means father and mother are well settled. Do you find the kid of that family, the kid of that pair, will be in orphanage? Why? They are well settled. So kid won't be in orphanages. But you see, three kids are there for a family, for parents. All three kids are well settled, but those parents are in old age. Possible? So the nature itself is parent to child, not child to parent. It's in the nature only. You might have seen they are very rich, but still their parents are in orphanage. So inheritance means parent to child, not child to parent. Understanding what I'm saying? See, even parents also, they will plan something of retirement age. Why? Their kids are there. Why they need to plan? Why they need to work a lot? No guarantee. Nature is parent to child. For example, parents has 10 rupees. They will be giving 8 rupees to kids. If kids has 10 rupees, giving 2 rupees to parents. Maybe may not know. May not. It depends. Again, person to person. So nature means natural is parent to child. Inheritance also the same thing. Parent to child. But we have another concept is the polymorphism. Polymorphism. What is this polymorphism? Polymorphism means child receives something from the parent according to inheritance. Now he will be changing that according to his requirement. Is polymorphism. Just to give you an example, I'm giving an example. Okay, purely example. Okay. Imagine nowadays we are hearing that cases are increasing. We are hearing that cases are increasing. Now, a person, a college student, if the college has informed them that okay, there is a possibility of risk, so please attend online. That's what the college announces. Now that the kid, that the college-going kid doesn't have a smartphone, computer. His father is using smartphone. Now, what his father has to do? Now, he is not in a position to purchase a new smartphone because of the food business, for example. Now, father gives that smartphone to the kid. Dear kid, you just do. I am giving it to you. Just use. Now, what the kid does when he receives the, he listens to the classes. That's what purpose is. But he will do so many things other than listening to the sessions. What first thing, if he gets the phone from the parent, now he sees the wallpaper. Some God wallpaper is there. Some God shloka ringtone is there. What will he do? He changed the wallpaper. He changed the ringtone. And he will start installing apps like Instagram, PUBG, Facebook. Understanding what I'm saying? Inheritance means parent to child. Polymorphism means once a child receives it from the parent, changing according to his requirements is the polymorphism. Now, someone in the corner of the road is also facing the same problem. He cannot go to college. He needs a smartphone. This kid's father will give. Inheritance is not applicable to that guy. His father has to give. This guy received it because of inheritance, and he has changed it according to his requirement. That is called as polymorphism. Just to give you an example, I don't know whether you know it or not. Okay, I can give you. Ankit, you know Mahesh Babu? Radha, you know Mahesh Babu? Then fine. You know, Mahesh Babu is 6 feet tall because of his father. He is superstar. Actually speaking, in the first movie itself, everyone knows that his name also will be superstar. But they have waited for a big hit, that's it. How come Prabhas is rebel star? Because his uncle is rebel star. Here also, he is 6 feet tall, superstar, and fair in color, good acting. All are like his father. If his father is a bad actor, how can he be succeeded? So as per his inheritance, he got 6 feet height, superstar tag, fair in color, good acting, and all those things. As per that scenario, he has to get his father's hairstyle. What is his father's hairstyle? Bald head. He has to get it. Inheritance. And he has to get his father's dancing style. Dancing style will be different. That is a different style. Yes or no? But his hairstyle, his dancing style is not like his father. He might be 6 feet like his father, superstar like his father, fair in color like his father, good acting like his father. But his father's hairstyle, his father's dancing style, he didn't follow. This is polymorphism. This is polymorphism. He got it according to inheritance, but he is changing it according to the requirement. That is polymorphism. Understanding we have a famous businessman called Dhirubhai Ambani. Dhirubhai Ambani has given his business empire to his son Mukesh Ambani. He got that Reliance Industries because of his father, inheritance. And he has changed it according to his requirements. What he has done, he has invested in retail business. He has invested in the telecom business. He changed it according to his requirements. Recently, he has passing that to his kids. Now his kid is changing according to his requirements. Now his kid is planning to buy a football team. Father is a cricket fan. Purchase cricket team. They are also cricket fans. We see matches only, that's it. They are cricket fans. They purchase teams. Now his son is a football team player. He is trying to purchase a football team. He is changing. He got it because of inheritance. And he is changing it according to his requirements. Polymorphism. Understanding what I am saying, I can give you another example. Now, we have you heard about Mysore Palace? Mysore Palace is something, one of the pride of India, big palace. It was constructed under the leadership of Krishna Raja Wadayar. 1912, in the year 1912, in the 1912 there is no electricity, nothing much. Then it passes to his son Chamaraja Wadayar. What he has done, he has changed the palace in such a way that he has used electricity in the palace. All the wiring setup. He's a king here. Everyone per room, one bulb we keep it. But the whole palace, he has added bulbs. See, palace lights, have heard about it. Mysore Palace. Everywhere it's lights. Yes or no? So, why Chamaraj Vatiyar has done it? He got it because of inheritance. And he changed it according to his requirement. Then it passes to Sri Kanta Narasimharaja Vatiyar. Now, what this guy has done, he has set up AC in all the rooms. AC investment is a big thing. Normal room is 2 bedroom. Palace here, hundreds, 200s might be there. What this guy has done, he has invested, spent money on changing according to his requirements AC. Then it passes to the present king, forgot his name, Yaduvir Vadaya. Yajuvir Vadaya. What this guy has done, this guy has set up a Wi-Fi in each and every part of the palace. Now imagine Yajuvir Vadiyar has spent 10 lakhs on Wi-Fi setup. Palace here, it's not a small thing. Why he has spent? Why you or me? Why not you or me? Because he inherited it. He changes it. That's called polymorphism. If I have inherited that palace, I could have done that. But I haven't done that because I have not inherited. So inheritance means parent to child. Polymorphism means child changing according to the requirements. That is what inheritance. Understood? Now we will try this inheritance. We will try this polymorphism. Both will be trying it. You will be understanding. What is inheritance? Parent class is called super class. Child class is called sub. Where we have created this. Let us create a new project. Let me create a new project. So we are going to work on inheritance or what encapsulation. what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a folder called classes. Let this, I'll create a class called, for example, cat. I'm creating a class called cat. Cat I have created. Now this is a simple JavaScript file. You call it as module. Now I have to convert the module to class by using the keyword class. Class and the name of the class. I have created it. Now what I wanted to do, inside this I wanted to create constructor. Constructor is nothing but a function, and the normal behavior of the function is need to be called. But constructor behavior is like it will be called automatically whenever you create a copy of it. Right? Now inside this, imagine I am creating a property. This dot the number of legs. Now I am giving number of legs to 4. If I create 100 copies, all the 100 copies will have this property. For each thing, 4. Now, I have created. Now, what I want to do, only we can create properties or we can create methods also. We can create methods also. Say running. Now, say console log. This that runs. What is the speed of it? 30 kilometers per hour. So class is nothing but a container which can hold properties and methods. We have created, I think, around 3 or 4 properties. Four properties we have created. We have created a total. This cat runs 30 kilometers per hour. And the food habits. What is the food habits of this? And the sleeping habits of cat? It sleeps on top of trees or some corner houses, some corners of the house. Cat sleeps. Corners. Usually, some corners where you will not normally want to get cat sleeps corners of the house. And let us try women. It's like this. You are going, cat is coming. You are going, cat is coming. You have seen the cat. Cat has seen you. What happened? Cat ran away. So, cat ran away and sees. Understanding what I'm saying? Now I have created a class with the few properties and methods in it. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create one more class, cheetah. Now for cheetah also, number of legs four, number of tails, number of nose, number of eyes, all these things I want for cheetah also. Either I have to recreate everything or I can make child of. Now let us see what I will do. Now I have created the class, of course I have to export it. Let's say export, import, export default cat. We have done it. Now I am creating one more class. And in this cheetah.this, I don't write anything. I just make this cheetah child of cat. That's it. So now I'll say yes, cheetah. Now this is a normal class, cheetah class. Individual class, it is not inherited from anything. But if I make this child of cat, automatically whatever I have created is available to this. So it increases reusability. Right? We have created for cat, using it in cheetah. Increases reusability. Inheritance increases reusability. It extends. Automatically it has. I have exported class, right? We have imported it. Now let us see here. Now I wanted to run it. I'm coming to app.js. I wanted to create the copies of cat and cheetah. Say let Will this work or it won't work? We have used class cat, but we haven't imported. Naturally, it won't work. How to import it? I'll just create import sheet. Now I have to import it. If I do automatic selection, auto selection, I think automatic. I'm giving error. I have selected automatically. Put cat. Now this cat will have properties like number of days, number of legs, number of nose, all those things. Let me try it. So now nice. Now if I run this, how much it should show? Now I'll come here. Say right click. Still compiling. what we are expecting once it is running, I am expecting number of I should show because that we have given it in CAD class. Now imagine if I create an instance of a cheetah class. For that also, if I say cheetah instance dot number of i's, will that work? You haven't created anything in it actually. So let us see. Number of i's too, which is perfectly fine. Now what I will do, I'll get one more class. Cheetah means cheetah. Hmm. Okay. Now I say cheetah number of. So let us see. This I have created. Now let us see what. Cheetah is not defined. That means we have imported. Now what I just either I can type import statement or I just delete it and give it dot. We not exported things and exported it. So, how do I import without export? Without importing, I cannot do export default. Now I come here. Here I type. Exported there. It is imported. Okay, I imported it up. Now let us see. Now refresh it. See, this is coming from where? Cheetah. But we haven't created anything. No? Inheritance from parent it is. Now, just to give you an example, I haven't created good habits for cheetah, no? But now it's you see here. hunts rats and drinks milk. I am calling from cheetah. But why it is saying cat hunts rats? It is taken from the parent. It's taken from the parent. You got to find cheetah doesn't have a method for food habits. Actually speaking, cheetah doesn't have any properties also. Nothing is there. Just import statement, creation of class, export. That's it. But actually, technically speaking, cheetah has number of eyes, number of legs, number of tails, food habits, sleeping habits, human interaction. Everything is there. Now I'll come here and I'll say here. About running street. First of all, the data has running speed method have been created. It is coming from parent. Now it will show. Now this method comes for cat instance, cat copy, cheetah copy. This cat runs 30 kilometers per hour. Cheetah runs 30 kilometers per hour. But it is saying cat runs 30 kilometers per hour. We have to change the behavior. That is polymorphism. Polymorphism means for functions, basically. Understand it? Now we have created properties and methods in the cat class, and we have inherited that in cheetah class. Now cheetah also getting all the properties and methods of cat. Now in cheetah we want to change its behavior. That is called polymorphism. Polymorphism means for functions. Polymorphism has two concepts again. Polymorphism has two concepts: function overriding. What? Function overriding. Overriding means replacing. Overriding means replace. Function overriding. That means what? It is saying this cat runs 30 kilometers per hour. What it should show? This cheetah runs 120 kilometers per hour. Cheetah runs so fast. So what I will do? I'll go to cheetah. Inside this, we will create a running. It is already there in the parent. Now I am recreating again. So that is nothing but overriding. This cheetah now this is called a function overriding. From parent we got it. We are changing it according to the requirement. That means the kid gets the phone. He changes the ringtone, right? Wallpaper, right? Exactly the same here. Overriding. Now if I refresh it, now see what happens. I think it is not rendered yet. This cheetah runs 120 kilometers overridden. Now food habit, cat hunts rats and drinks milk. Cheetah also does the same thing. Different. The cheetah hunts deers. So now we wanted to change that also. What food habits? The same function I am creating in the child class. You call it a child class, you can call it a subclass. And here, create here. Now if I come here and if I call it, the habits are called it. Now see that. Cheetah hunts deers and now let us see we have one more function, human interaction. Now imagine you are walking, cat is you are walking, cat is you have seen cat, cat has seen you. What happens? Who runs? Cat runs. When it comes to cheetah, you are walking, cheetah walks. You are walking, cheetah walks. You have seen cheetah, cheetah has seen you. Who runs? We runs. Human runs away. But here, what it says, if I call the human interaction, here I say, it is not human interaction. What it says? Cat runs. But actually, who runs? Human runs. Needs to be changed or not? Because of inheritance, it says cat is running away from human. Now we have to change it saying human running away from cheetah. Now I will come to cheetah. I will create the method again. This is called a overriding, polymorphism overriding. We are getting from inheritance. We are changing it according to our requirement. To give you an example, if you go to some villages, you will see very old houses, 100-year-old, 120, 130-year-old houses also you see. From outside you see it's very old, but if you enter inside, you see AC will be there, Wi-Fi will be there, TV, cable, internet, everything will be there. How? They changed according to the requirements. Through inheritance they got it, and child changes it according to the requirement. By the time they construct the house, they imagine there is no lights, electricity also, but they do all the setup. You see, most of the temples are not constructed 5-10 years back, 100, 200, 500 years old. 500-year-old temple, you don't have lights. But if you go to Garbhagudi, you will find lights now. Polymorphism, they have changed it according to the requirements. Got a point? Exactly the same thing. Now if I refresh it, human runs away from cheetah. Actually speaking, the cheetah doesn't have anything, but there is a need of overriding. So we are overriding according to our. Got it? Clear? Understood what is polymorphism? Polymorphism has two concepts. Actually, function overriding, function overloading. Function overloading basically not required in JavaScript. It supports it by default. Actually. Just to show you an example. Overloading means what? Imagine you have created functions with now imagine overloading concept means what? Imagine I have created a calculate result. Imagine I have created a function. and again calculate result with the two parameters. Again calculate result with three parameters. Calculate result with four parameters. This is called actually overriding. That means if you call calculate result and if you don't pass any function, if you don't pass any parameter, this will be called. If you pass three parameters, this will be called. If you pass four parameters, this will be called. Actually, you have created four functions in the same name, but only number of parameters are different. And while calling, depending upon the number of parameters you pass, that will be called. This concept is called overloading. This concept is called overloading. But in JavaScript, the behavior is that means what? First of all, you cannot create the same function name in JavaScript. The same name you cannot create it. In other programming languages, it supports it. In JavaScript, it won't support it. And second thing, for example, if you want like this, no need of creating code. You create one function and you pass any number of parameters you want. Just to show you an example. I am creating a function in the theta. Just to show you, calculate. Just I am creating a function. Now I will say console log inside calculate. Instead calculate marks I have created. Am I passing any parameters? No. Now what I will do while calling that function should call now. So, but now what I will do, now I am calling the same function 5 times, but I am passing parameters. Then how much will it be? I haven't created any parameters first of all, but still I am passing parameters. Now see what happens. If I run it, now see. Inside calculate marks are calling 5 times. First of all, it should show error that you haven't created any parameters, but still you are passing. But JavaScript behavior is different. Even though you haven't created, it is still accepting. That is the behavior of overloading in JavaScript. See, marriage is the same thing, but different places, different cultures are. Marriage in South India is different. Marriage in North India is different. East India different, West India different. The marriage only, but different ways here also. Overloading the concept is same. Marriage concept is same everywhere, but the way they get married is different. Here also overloading concept is same, but the way they execute here is different. Overloading means actually different parameters has to be accepted, same function. Here it behaves like this. In other programming languages it shows error, but here JavaScript it will not even show error. That is the behavior of overloading. For overriding, inheritance is required. For overloading, inheritance is not required. Understanding what I mean? What is overloading? You pass any number of parameters, function names, in other programming languages. For example, there is a programming language called Swift. There, it allows you to create the same function name with the different parameters. But in JavaScript, same function name with the different parameters it will not accept. But same function, you pass different parameters, it accepts. That's the behavioral difference. What is hotel? Hotel. Why do we go for hotel? To eat something. But there are certain hotels you pay and eat. There are certain hotels you eat and pay. Difference is there. It's the same thing, but little difference. Here also the same. Got it. And have you ever worked on composition? We have covered inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, how to cover it, and composition. What is composition? Composition means creating instances of one class in another class is called composition. That means now I have created a lion class, tiger class, cheetah class, and I am using it in app.js composition. And one the composition means mixing. Have you heard about a term called music composer? Composer means what? He mixes so many things. Here also the same. Now imagine I have lion class, tiger class, cheetah class. I have another class called zoo. Inside zoo, I will create instances of lion class, instances of tiger class, instances of cheetah. That is called composition. Or this lion, tiger, cheetah, you create it inside app.js. That is also composition. Composition means mixing, which I have already done it. Now I have checked Harshini's work. She has created bus, car, cycle, motorcycle. All four she has used it in app.js. Composition. We have already done that. Understand? And we have one more is there, encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Composition means? Composition means using instances at one place. Composition is related to objects or copies. Got a point? Now in zoo, few lions are there, few tigers are there, few cheetahs are there. Composition. Or you take a parking lot, few cycles, few motorcycles, few cars. Composition. Fruit salad, good example of composition. Music, good example of composition. You see any music, it's a combination of multiple sounds. Composition. That's why it is called as music composition. Understanding? Now I have created a cheetah class. If I create tiger class, lion class and use it in app.js, composition. Understood what is composition? Complicated? And we have one more is there, encapsulation. What is this encapsulation? Encapsulation means capsulating properties and methods together is called encapsulation. Encapsulating properties and methods together is called encapsulation. I am just giving you a definition for your better understanding, for easy to understand. Packing is called encapsulation. What? Packing. Now imagine New Year is coming, December 25th, and Christmas we have just completed, and New Year. You wanted to go to Goa. That's what everyone tries to do. You wanted to go to Goa for a week. For a week, you have around 15 pairs, for example. How do you carry those 15 pairs? Can here, 5 here, carry like that. No, you put it in a trolley. That means nothing but packing. You have 15 pairs, but putting into one trolley becomes one. But that one has everything in it. Exactly, that is called composition. We are creating a copy of the class, just one copy. That one copy has everything in it, all the properties and all the methods. That is called encapsulation. You don't need to do anything extra. It will automatically behave like that. Now, if a new baby born, you have to train the baby how to eat or how to drink milk. But you have to train the body how to breathe automatically. Here also. Now I have created a class called BTech. 60 subjects, 60 properties. 8 semesters, 8 methods I have created. Now BTech class has 60 properties and 8 methods. If I create a copy of that BTech class, only one I have. Inside that one copy, I have all the 60 properties and 8 methods. That is called composition. Composition means packing. Composition means packing. Capsulating, capsule. You have capsule, medical capsule. If you open it, you will find so much of medicine in it. They put everything into the capsule and cap. That medicine may have 20, 30 ingredients. Everything they put it into one and made it one. Capsulating means packing all the properties and methods together is called encapsulation. Now, see here, this cheetah instance I have created. This cheetah has all the number of eyes, number of legs, number of tails, number of nose, plus food habits, running speed, human interaction, everything is there within this only. That is called encapsulation, like packing. Human body is a good example of encapsulation. You see a person, how many are coming? Only one is coming. But inside that human body, heart is there, lungs are there, kidneys are there, so many blood vessels are there, so many other organs are there. But everything is wrapped with skin. Encapsulation. Encapsulation means putting everything into one. Sweet box is a good example of encapsulation. It's one box only, but everything is wrapped inside it. There are so many sweets. You don't need to do anything extra on encapsulation. You don't need to do anything extra on composition also, because once we create the class, we have to use it, right? Capsulating. Capsulation means package. Capsulating properties and methods together is called encapsulation. Here itself, capsule is there. Capsulating properties and methods together is called encapsulation. Geometry box is a good example of encapsulation. Geometry box is one only, but it has scale, eraser, rubber, sharpener, compass, protractor, so many things are there, but at the end it's one only. If you lost geometry box, you will cry. Why? You lost not only geometry box, it has so many things in it. Got my point? Understanding what is encapsulation, putting everything into one. It's called encapsulation. Now you imagine you have 100 rupees bundle, you have 500 rupees bundle, you have 1000 rupees bundle. Put it everything into one cover, wrap it, encapsulation. Understanding what I'm saying? That's what encapsulation. Encapsulating properties and methods together is what I mean. Composition means different instances keeping it together. It's called composition. That means, I have created a class called fan. I have created a class called projector. I have created a class called air conditioner. I have created a class called chair. And I have created a class called classroom. Inside that classroom, one copy, one instance of projector, 2 instances of fan, 1 instance of AC, around 40 instances of chairs. Different instances I am using inside class, right? Composition means getting together. It's called composition. Now, if I take fan class has so many properties in it and methods in it. Speed, number of wings, motor capacity. That is the encapsulation, everything inside. Got my point? Clear? Any other questions on this? You should be very strong in object-oriented programming. Whether you accept it, whether you don't accept it, whether you know, whether you don't know, we are using it already. Because components are advanced version of components by React. We are using it, but in interviews also they will be asked. That is not the right thing. That you are talking about setters and getters. That is not encapsulation. According to me, I think that's not. You cannot say YouTube has so many videos, everything is right. We cannot say we have to check the genuinity of that. It's really from a good website, probably we have to. Either I made it thing. Now see, you see YouTube. What is website? That means anyone can create it. Now we are letting it. If we say India and India started attacking China, and create a news article and put it in internet. Would that be right? Anything in website is not correct. But I am not saying that is wrong. You see news about film stars. They say in so many websites are defaming. That's what this. What about visual encapsulation? The name itself is encapsulating. Encapsulating properties and methods. It's called encapsulation. Composition. Yes. No. See, orange. Imagine you take one orange. That one orange has so many. What is it? That is the encapsulation. If you put the orange, apple, pineapple at the one place, compose. Understood the difference? Okay, clear? I want to try this. Okay, we have one more concept is there, abstraction that we will be covering in our